Today we're gonna be answering some... What's up? Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna have a little Q&A. The questions, they're coming from TikTok and they touch a little bit of everything. So while I do my skincare routine, I'm gonna show you some of my favorite products and then I'm gonna answer whatever you guys wanna know. So let's see how far you guys wanna go today. Let's get started. I'm gonna plug in my skin steamer because I forgot to do that. Let's see what the first question is.
Question number 1. How did you get into skincare?
How did I get into skincare? I feel like everything starts back at home, right? Like, this sounds like therapy. My mom, out of all people, probably got us all into skincare. It started with a bottle, the simple things, a bottle of cocoa butter, aftercare after a shower. She always bought us the sensitive body washes. Those were usually, oddly enough, cocoa butter as well. But once we were old enough, we started choosing our own things and she guided us. And when she saw we weren't buying crazy products, she kind of let us choose whatever we want. And when you see the smoke, I plugged in my skin steamer. So I'm steaming my skin as I answer these questions. But if you're watching this, Mom, I am not insulting you. But there was a point in time where I started to learn about skin and the products that you recommended. They may have worked for your skin, but I kind of started to find my own process, and that's kind of where I started the skincare journey, my skincare journey. Throughout elementary school and middle school, and I guess high school, people started asking me what I was using on my face. I had a pimple or two, but I never really had breakouts. I did sports, I'd work out, but while everyone else was going to lunch after not drying off or taking a shower, or really doing anything to their face, they just roll out, put on clothes, spray some Axe, and then they have sweat dripping down their face and they wonder why their face was broken out. I was doing my skincare routine. But eventually people would start looking at me, asking me what was going on. And I think that kind of manifested into me being, 25-year-old with a skincare company. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. That's how I got into skincare.
Okay, question number 2. Where are you from?
That is such a loaded question. I am a military brat, so we moved around a lot. We started off in untraditional places. We're from LA. We moved to a little town called Barstow, California. We lived on a military base called Fort Irwin. It is still an active base, so if you Google it, you can probably find pictures of it. It's in the middle of the Mojave Desert. But after that, we lived there for a couple of years. This was like super early childhood, but once I turned 4 or 5, we moved to Germany, Heidelberg, Germany. Heidelberg is about an hour outside of Frankfurt, but funny story about that move, my dad said that he knew German. I'm just calling my parents out. If y'all watch this, I guess...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fight of the century.
I guess we're gonna have a conversation. But my dad said he knew German, so we were staying in like military housing, which is like, I guess an apartment. I'm just gonna be steaming my face while we tell this story, guys. Eventually, my parents, we're a family of 5. So I have my older brother, my younger sister, and then me. I'm the middle child, and then my dad and my mom. Both of my parents are still in the picture. So these two are in a lot of my stories. So eventually we end up finding a house. The military basically allows you, they pay for your move. They pay for you to find a home. They host you in military housing until you find a home. So all of this, we're grateful to the military. So we eventually find a home off base. Now we're moving off of Little America. Now we're in Germany. Every weekend when my parents would talk to their parents, they'd be like, so how's Germany? They say, oh, it's nice, it's great, it's super relaxing. But they had never really experienced Germany. But so when we moved off base, people start speaking German to you in Germany. It's actually Germany, right? So when you're going grocery store shopping, you notice things like people speaking to you. Usually my parents in America, they say, speak to the people, don't be rude. We didn't know any lick of German. My dad was walking around with a book of, like a tourist book, and I'm pretty sure he was butchering all of the pronunciations, but thankfully Germans said we're polite back then. They're still pretty polite. And then while my skin is steaming, I'm going to spray a hydro serum. It is a lavender rose hydro serum. It's called Lavender Rose from Good Skin. I'm just gonna let the active ingredients work as the skin works, and also add some hydration to my skin. But one of the cool things about going to a military school is they have really cool features. My parents found this immersion program, and this is my favorite teacher to date, one of my favorite teachers. Half of the day you speak English, and the other half of the day you speak an alternative language. My alternative language was German. And the way it works is you literally sit in the class. If the card is on English, you speak English. But once they flip the card over, you have to speak German. Everything down to answering math problems, writing an English paper, telling stories, writing little kid stories. So while I was learning how to speak English,
I was learning cursive, I was learning punctuation, I was learning 4+4.
I was learning all of those things in German and in English. So this was really fundamental to grasping the language. So quickly, I became the spokesman of the family. When we went out to go eat, I would order the food from the family. I would translate meals. Now, this was a pretty big responsibility. Like, there were certain words that I didn't know. So I remember one time in particular, I knew like Kleine Cola, which is just a small Coca-Cola. So I could get my way by when I was first learning. But I remember my dad was like, what is this? And I was like, it's a steak. I ordered this man a schnitzel, which is not a steak. It's a breaded, I guess the closest thing in America. You guys probably know what a schnitzel is, but it's like a breaded chicken fried steak, but made out of pork. So a breaded pork. Anyway, we started ordering things like that. We started going out as a family, and yeah, that's how I learned German. The question was, where am I from? That's why I told you guys. I told you this was a loaded question. That is such a loaded question. I was gonna go down a whole spiral. I started answering more than one question. But anyway, I'm steaming my skin, and we've done our first product, which is Hydro Serum. I think my pores are open. You're only supposed to steam your skin for about 5 to 7 minutes, so I'm probably gonna turn this off.
Okay, so there is a lot of people that seem to be interested into this question. So what does good rich mean?
The name Good Rich, it comes from my childhood. I grew up in Germany, and we have a phrase, alles gut, which just means all is gonna be good. You can apply it to pretty much anything. I use that phrase to get through some dark times. I just say alles gut. It can be applied to anything. But my last name is Richardson. So taking a part of that phrase that I just said, alles gut, and Richardson, good rich. But the name, essentially, it stands for the luxury experience. It was birthed from a series of affirmations. I was telling you guys about Germany a little bit earlier. A really good friend of mine, she and I were having a phone call one day, and we said, treat everything you do like a personal experience. And then I've kind of spun that to treat everything you do like a luxury experience. And what that means to me is every single thing I do, I treat it as a luxury experience. I want the best of the best. You know, when you're in a grocery store and you're trying to decide whatever your favorite condiment is, whether it's mustard, ranch, or mayo, if you want to get the generic one or the expensive one that has the better ingredients. I'm someone that would read the ingredients. I look for quality. I look for the bigger size. I live in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. It's not a dirty joke. But I look for the thing that fits for me. I go through life creating a custom-made experience. That is what the luxury experience looks like for me. It is the luxury experience. It's custom. It's a for you moment. Yeah, so after we turn that steamer off, I'm gonna go ahead and spray a Hydromist one more time on my face. What it is a hydro serum. The steam opened my pores to allow me to start my skincare routine. I've already cleansed before I came on camera. But immediately after I do a hydro serum, I'm gonna move over back to my cream serums. So we've already used a Rosewater serum, but now I'm moving over to Smoothest Silk Serum from Good Skin. Smoothest Silk Serum is a oatmeal, hemp seed oil, and aloe vera gel cream serum. What it does is it mattifies the skin, leaves it super soft, and kind of locks and seals in that water that we've added to the skin. So while my pores are open, I've added in hydration and then sealed it in with a cream serum. This one goes on my beard too. Let's get that next question.
Okay, our next question is related to your TikTok. Have you gotten a lot of attention since your TikTok blew up?
Have I gotten a lot of attention since my TikTok has blown up? If you guys know my platform, I was more of a picture guy. So whether I was in front of the camera or behind the camera, I'm a creative director and I'm also a model. So I take a lot of selfies, but I also have a lot of portraits and projects that I'm a part of. So I had a lot of photos before. Since TikTok has come out, I don't think I take a lot of pictures. I take a lot of videos. So when you say, have I gotten a lot of attention? There's different layers to that. While I'm filming out, I had to get over that stage fright of what are people thinking, what are they gonna say to me. Guys, we're in 2022. When people see a phone out of recording, they're either gonna make fun of you or get over it. But we're used to recording. So I do get a lot of attention when I'm making my TikToks. But on another layer of that, I go to and from Spain a lot. I'm back in Texas. I'm here for a project. When I was coming back here, there was a girl sitting behind me. I think she was a little nervous, to be honest, and nervous to approach me. If you see me, let's talk. We're gonna be friends. But she was like, excuse me, are you from TikTok? And I looked at Ivan, that's my husband, who was sitting right there with me. We were in Spain visiting family. His family's from Spain. We also do business out there, one of our offices out there. But I looked at him like kind of in disbelief because I'm new to this. I'm not like used to people recognizing me out in public. Plus I had on a mask. So I was like, really? You really recognize me? So she was like, well, I guess she recognized that I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you... I look at her and she's like, oh, it's just, I recognize your voice. I really love your voice. You have such a soothing voice. Now, y'all love my voice on TikTok. Growing up, people are like, you have such a soft voice. I can't hear you speak up, yada, yada, yada. So I didn't really know the voice was love. Y'all were... Anyway, let's get back to the point. Somebody asking me, am I from TikTok based off of my voice alone? That was a pretty cool feeling. I don't want to sound douchey thinking I'm like bigger than I am or anything like that. I'm still John. Yes. To answer that question. I'm gonna move on to the next piece of my skincare. We're gonna move over to ice. I use ice on my skin and I just go around. Now you can get frostbite and you can get a brain freeze using ice externally, believe it or not. I've never gotten frostbite, but I have gotten a brain freeze. Brain freeze. Jeez, I can't talk. Maybe I have a brain freeze right now. But what I do is go over my skin and I'm adding more hydration, which I will go into the beard. And I'm gonna turn the steamer back on.
So our next question is a little bit more personal. What do you like to do for fun?
What do I like to do for fun? I really like clothes. Since I was a kid, I've always liked clothes. And I hated the rule that guys and girls clothes. I believe everything is unisex. So like putting together pieces of outfits. So I have some outfits I've been working on for years. People will ask me, where'd you get those pants? And it'll be pants I got at my birthday 10 years ago, or something back in middle school. Sometimes it's not, sometimes a piece isn't ugly, you just don't have the thing to go with it. But sometimes a piece is ugly. But I'll go into Urban Outfitters and I'll look for ugly pants. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The pants that nobody would really buy and you're like, what are those? And I'll buy those because nobody else will get those. And I'll rock those with a really cool shirt. And there's really what you put on and how you walk the street. And people are like, wow, I really love those pants. And they were, the whole time they were ugly. Like I said, wherever I can see clothes, experience them, wear them, rock new fits, meet new people, laugh, have music. I like to ride around in my car. I have a projector in my living room, so I like to watch a lot of music videos. A fun fact about me, if we're tight, I'm gonna quote every movie I've seen. I'm keeping a list of movies that I've watched so far this year. I think we are, how many movies have we watched so far?
40.
We've watched 40 movies so far. It's March. It's really not a lot, but working on so many projects that we do, we kind of watch movies in the background and kind of quote them. We're very quotable. But I'll ask people after I quote a movie, like, watch this, Only America. I'll ask them, what movie is that? What movie is that?
White Chicks.
White Chicks. Okay, cool.
Next question is gonna divide your audience. Cats or dogs?
Honestly, off jump, if you would have asked me this a couple years ago, I would have just off jump said dogs. And I'm still going off jump say dogs. Cats have grown on me a little bit. My aunt, y'all know family that's not really family, but they're family. So when I was living in Fort Irwin, that desert I told you about at the beginning of the video, we had a family that lived out there. And this family that also lives there, they moved to Germany again, and that family also moves to Germany. Now, my mom and this lady, they become best friends, just oddly enough. You see these people around everywhere, and it's like, okay, God has put them in my life for a reason. Y'all are here for a reason. Anyway, let me get to my point. So we have them. I call the lady my aunt. She has kids. There's kids for each of us. I remember I have an older brother. He's 5 years older, so there's an older brother. And then I have a younger sister. There's no one her age, but the younger brother is a year older than me. So we're about the same age. Everyone has somebody to basically, when you're a dude, you go to the basement and you fight your bro. It's like the thing, your friend thing. So everybody has a friend to ride bikes with, have fun with. So I have my cousins, like we call them. My mom had her friend, which was our aunt. Whenever I go to her house, what was the question again? See, I talk a lot. I'll lose track of things. What was the question?
Cats or dogs?
Cats or dogs? See, but my aunt, she had a cat. His name was Jasper, and Jasper, I swear that was the oldest cat I've ever seen. But that was a cool cat. And then Yvonne, he's our question man today. His sister has two cats, Flor and Guri. Guri is originally from Texas. His name is Arturo. He's a whole backstory. I swear they're like secret agents. I think I'm like Perry Platypus.
Florida's from Texas too. But
Flor is from Texas as well. I gotta get the story right. But those three cats alone have switched the game on cats. Because before I would have just said, I'm not a cat person. I'm also a Leo, so we can't shun all cats out there together. I'm a big cat myself. But let's move on to moisturizer. But if you guys have any more questions, you can go ahead and comment them below. This was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll come back and do another one of these. We've used an entire Good Skin product line. So if you see any products from the video that you like, you can head to goodskin.com or click the links below. I am Checkout John, checking out. Diesel, my dog, he is saying it's time to go. So it's really time to check out. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.